Boom. All right, so recording has started. Jaylen, whenever you're ready, you could start off in three, two, one.
Hey everyone, welcome to Kickin It with Jaylen and Friends. My name is Jaylen, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have my friends introduce themselves right quick. Starting out with you, Lance.
Okay. I wasn't expecting for you to go to us first, but okay. Yes, I'm Lance. I'm currently the host of the Listen to This podcast, which is still in development. Like I feel like I have like so many ideas that are not being worked on right now, but I am still working on some ideas. I've known these guys for about a couple years through a college ministry that we're in. If you hear my roosters, they are behind me in the backyard. Um,
Okay.
and just graduated from the University of Memphis last December, and mainly just living life. Like what else can what else can I say about myself? Like I can dive more deeply like as we go on in this
Yeah, yeah.
recording.
Let's say that for
Of course,
sure.
but yeah, that's my intro. What about you, Spence?
Yes, I am the third host of this. My name is Spencer.
Yes.
I'm currently in college. I'm a junior right now. International Studies major
Where are you going to college, Spencer?
at the University of Memphis. At the
Yeah.
University of Memphis.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Um, I'm a minor in African American Studies and Social Justice. So, kind of a lot around there. I guess you guys see some of the map on the background. Um,
yeah.
that
That's
has
a
a lot to do with my international
course,
studies.
man. Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this podcast is that's gonna happen. So,
I'd say that map proves the Earth is flat, by the way, but don't quote me on it.
no,
Um,
I don't
that's
even.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just like my situation with school is yeah. So I'm not gonna go with that right now. But
He's working on it. He's working on it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, so we're just here to just talk about pretty much whatever's on our minds, like
Because that can mean anything.
entertainment, uh,
anything.
topics about opinions about different stuff going on in the world, maybe some serious topics that we may dive into later on during our road during the podcast. And yeah, just chopping it up, just chopping it up. But yeah, so how do you guys feel about doing this now?
You said, how do we feel about doing this
Yeah,
now?
yeah, how do you guys feel about it?
Um, I mean, I've always loved doing like podcasts. Like as I mentioned before, I have my own. And I've always loved just any like setting where we can just talk to each other and just like really chop it up as you said, and just really excited to see where this goes, for real. Really excited to
Yeah,
see where this goes.
yeah. How are you guys doing, by the way? Like, I know I seen you earlier, but how are you doing,
Eh,
Spencer?
Doing good, doing good. We just I got home from our home church that we played at.
Yeah.
I'm currently a drummer as well at my home church.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
So,
You
um,
I saw you drumming.
gotta
I
get
saw
you
you
a
drumming
uncle.
in that picture that I took.
yeah,
Got,
yeah, yes,
oh yeah, that's right. You played. You're in the band
yes.
yeah, that's
I'm
right.
in the Mighty Sound of the
Yeah,
South marching band at
Shout out.
University as well. I
yeah.
play the bass drum, which is kind of like a big drum in the back behind the snare drums. But yeah,
Got
so
gotta get you and my uncle to do a little drum off. Come.
drum off.
Drum
That's
off.
Uh, so our topic today, we're just pretty much gonna just have you guys just to get to know get to know us. Not everything, well, however much we want to share about ourselves, obviously, but still, yeah. So I guess diving into my first question for all of us is, Yeah, how was your childhood like? Yeah, how was your
Bro,
childhood like?
that's okay. First of all, that's such a funny way of asking it. Like, it's just introducing like the podcast. Yes, I'm keeping this in by the way. But yeah, just introducing the podcast, like Spencer talking a little about himself. Hey, how was your childhood?
Yeah.
No, who wants to start off on that one?
I could start off, I guess.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
Spencer.
my childhood was it was pretty good actually. I mean, it was pretty good. It had its moments. I mean, being in, school, you know, I mean, obviously, when you're a kid, you get in trouble a whole lot. And so wasn't, you get in trouble a whole lot, you get you get a lot of bad grades and stuff, and you're kind of used to it. And then, but for me, it was like that a lot. But until like, I don't know, like maybe late in elementary school, I kind of just flipped the switch and just, I guess, started becoming, you know, started getting good grades and doing well in class. I would say it's part of my childhood in school. Um, but other than that, our childhood was pretty good. I mean, we kind of did what every kid wanted to do, which was like go. We went outside. We had friends over across the street from us. Um, and they were kind of uh like our friends in the neighborhood before they eventually moved away. Um, But their names were Sam, Mason, and then we used to have another guy over here across the street named TJ. He used to play basketball a lot.
Hey, shout out TJ.
Yeah.
Shout out TJ. We have another
We
friend
have a friend in
that's
teacher. That's why I'm smiling
for
right
for
now.
for full context. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was really, I mean, it was really a really, really good childhood. I mean, I can't really explain much of it. We also
That's
went on a whole lot of trips too, you know. We went to most of the trips that we went on were we went to Disney World a whole lot. So I
good.
think
hmm
I think we started at I was I think it was 4. My sister was 5, and we just been going ever since. So I mean, I would say our childhood was really, really good. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess I may as well go last. How about you, Lance? If you want to go.
I mean, if you want to, I was gonna go anyway, but yeah. I mean, I feel like I had like an all right childhood. Most of it was just focusing on school. Um, been been at a private school for pretty much like up until University of Memphis. A private school was essentially my whole life. Um, from first through like senior year of high school. And then yeah, just really was in the mindset of just working hard in school. Didn't really have like the I didn't really have like any social abilities to like make that many friends and like keep them as a kid. Like I look back, like I don't typically like look back on my childhood because it was a completely different like situation to like where I am now, of course, but it's still like a fundamental piece of my life that made me who I am. And I feel like without that mindset of just working hard in school and just doing everything I could to get good grades and stuff, that I wouldn't have made it like this far. And very much um just it was very much an encouraging like thing for me to like build my whole life off of, which like off the mindset of working hard, and just kind of learning about the things that I want to do. So yeah, that's pretty much my childhood in a nutshell, for real.
Yeah. Unlike you guys, mine's because I grew up in like a very unlikely, I guess you would say, type of life. I always thought that everybody was their childhood and the way they were living was the same. And I thought I was just the only one that had this just odd life. Because not going deep into it, I thought everybody was have like has a mom and a dad or a sister and a brother, like pretty much a whole perfect family. I I grew up not being raised by my parents. I so you guys know. But for you guys out there, I was raised by my grandparents growing up. Uh, still am. But my so my when I was born, my mom became very ill, and that meant that I think I'm not if I'm not mistaken, I think that's why when I was born, I was because I was very small, very small. I was 2 pounds, I think, and doctors didn't think I was gonna make it because I just wasn't to them a normal baby. I stayed in the hospital up until a couple of months later. But besides that, um, I was raised by my grandmother and my grandfather. So basically, they were my mom and dad. I had my uncle who played a brother figure in my life more than an uncle because he was younger. And my mom honestly acted more like a sister than my mom because she was still my mom, but she never raised me. I because I went and had to take care of her a lot because she was in out of the hospital and in a nursing home, so she never stayed um with us. But um I wasn't good in school. Um I really only got past through each grade. Uh the, I never like school was just never on the forefront of my mind. I just went because I knew I just had to go. Um and I didn't understand what was going on with me. Why is my life different than most other kids? And that often led to kind of other kids not wanting to be around me because I was so different. But I guess from now, I'm more, to be honest with myself, I'm more bitter about it because I have grown up to the point where I'm realizing things, and I'm less childish and more kind of trying to be. I'm trying to be an adult, but still have that childlike part of me. But yeah, um, and I, for those of you that don't know, by the way, I grew up in Texas, so we were all living in the same city, but the majority of us, I'm not sure about you, Spencer, but you're from here, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm from here.
Okay, you're from here. Lance and I are from different states, but
Yeah.
we both, all three of us are in the same city. We were just born and raised in different states.
Hmm.
Not moving to different states, but we were. So if you want to say where you were from, Lance.
Yeah. I was originally from, well, I was born in Sacramento, California. I moved to, well, I've my family and I, by the time I was born, they were living in Elk Grove, which is like nearby Sacramento. And then when I was around 2 or 3, they had moved to Vallejo, which is about like maybe 30 to 40 minutes from San Francisco. And pretty much, yeah, I had lived about the first 17 years of my life in that general area before I moved here to Memphis. Yeah.
And you moved here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Around the time you were starting college, or was this like towards the end of high school?
This was in the dead middle of my senior year of high school.
Huh.
So it was very interesting to like navigate around because uh December 2020 was exactly when I moved here, and it was during a transition period where they were kind of just wanting to slowly get everyone back in person again after a few months of dealing with the pandemic and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but the thing about like me is obviously I had to be fully remote because I was on like the other side of the country. So so I kind of just like missed out on that transition a little bit. I came back a few times. I came back once the next February for a retreat, then for prom in early mid-May, and then my graduation a few weeks after that at the beginning of June.
Yeah, so I'm from I'm from Texas. Um, I I lived in Dallas. I I think I was born in the downtown. I think it was a hospital in the downtown area, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't live in like in the city of Dallas. I lived in like a I like the Cordova of Dallas. I lived in a little town called Cedar Hill. And it
By the way,
Yeah,
I think some folks may need the context of what Cordova is because
okay.
Cordova is basic.
Yeah.
It's basically Memphis, but kind of not. I mean, it is basically Memphis, but it's its own little area of like there's a lot of like shopping and retail here in Cordova. So I mean, some folks consider it still Memphis, others consider it its own thing. But yeah, just wanted to provide some
Yeah,
clarification on
okay,
that
thanks.
for those who didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So like a little small town near the big city. But with Dallas, Dallas has a lot of different suburbs and parts of it. A lot of them which I don't remember if I went to, but there were some that I remember going to often because we just went around the city a lot doing different things. But I lived in Cedar Hill, which of course is the Cordova of Dallas. Um, because and it was yeah, basically you have I'm not gonna say exactly if it was an all white area, but it was basically a suburb area. Um, we had like a our house was huge. It was not the best looking house, but it worked, and I was cool because I mean I tore the house up anyway. But and we and when I was in school, I often changed to different schools, mostly because either my grandmother wanted uh, a different school experience, a better one. My grandfather thought another school experience would be better for me. So I just transitioned to whatever school that either one wanted me to go to, and it was confusing my mind. Because I went to probably three or four different elementary schools. I only and I probably went to three during second grade when I was getting ready to, I guess, in the middle of, I think that fall of my second grade year. I went to the school called Daniel Webster, and I stayed there until fifth grade, and that was it's a public school, but it was in like literally it was like 30 minutes from where I live, so it was like 30 or 20 minutes, I think. It was like before you get downtown. So it was like in a bad neighborhood. It was there wasn't that many like white students. There were like maybe one or two or three. We had a white principal, not principal, but a white librarian. My first teacher was a white lady at that school, but it was mostly blacks and Hispanics, and they had also for the ones that couldn't speak English well, they had a whole Spanish section for them. But yeah, I think I moved here for reasons I don't think I can say. Well, part of it I can say is that when my mom died, I couldn't by law you have to go to another parent. So this is when my dad comes into the story. I never was aware that I had a dad. Never thought there were times I thought about it, but my I still know why my grandparents often kept that away. But when I met him, he came down and we spent some time together. He really liked the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a big football fan. I just only liked it because I'm from the city. He came down. I realized how tall this man was. It was kind of terrifying. But then that night, my grandmother, I think, after because they were, I was with my grandmother one day and she was like, you got to move to Memphis." So I was very disappointed because I knew Dallas all my life. I've been to Memphis because I have family in Memphis. So I went to Memphis all the time during holidays just to visit family. But this is the first time I ever moved anywhere. So when I moved to Memphis, I was 12. This was a few months after the passing of my mom and after sixth, fifth grade. I was going into sixth grade. So yeah, and honestly, this city is cool. I gotten used to it quickly because I've been here before. It would have been a whole. It would have been much different if it was a city or a town I've never been to. But it's it's fine. I can say that schooling got better. I'm not where I need to be, but it was better taken care of than past situations. I think what I want to go to as far as this discussion, because I was originally going to go down through a map, but I decided let's just have some fun with it. Um, are there any questions that you guys may have about, I guess, each other that we probably don't know about each other? Probably a hard question
I
for
don't
you.
know.
That's a very tough question.
I don't know, to be
Uh,
honest.
Because I told y'all everything about me, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean, he obviously we've known each other for a couple of years, and he has mentioned this story to us. I didn't think you would share as much as you did.
yeah.
I didn't. I was trying to hide a lot of very personal stuff, but
By all means, yeah, 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 yeah.
because I don't, I know not everybody needs to know that, but still. Actually, let me start this off to make it easy, make it easier. I can. So Lance,
Oh
uh,
boy.
what what kind of what kind of like stuff were you into growing up? Like toys, movies, TV shows, like art activities, and this could be something that that you like now too. Just either one.
So, okay. I was so for contextual purposes, like I was a very, very, very interesting child. Um, not like not like your average normal child. So I
Okay, same.
was like I still have, to be honest, a very like old soul when it comes to things that I like. And that like goes into multiple things that I'll discuss in a little bit, but I'd say, I mean, a good amount of my childhood was was defined by like watching a few shows that I like, such as mainly Nickelodeon shows, such as SpongeBob, Drake and Josh, uh, a little bit of
Okay, so
iCarly.
the standard, I guess, shows that, and was this around like the age where you're starting to go to school, or
I was going to mention that in a little bit, but yes,
okay,
I had been introduced to like those. It was like maybe starting when I was like maybe 5 or 6 when I started watching those shows. Watched a
Mhm.
lot of PBS shows. Not really like I know when folks think PBS, they're gonna normally think of like Sesame Street and stuff like that. I didn't really watch Sesame Street like a lot when I was growing up.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was more into the shows that specifically came out when I was like very young. So like
Okay, so
suit
shows that came out at that time, not shows that have been there, but are still popular. Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
Um, sorry, I lose my train of thought because all of a sudden I hear Jalen in my ear, just like yes. Um, but no. So like Super Y. I was
Mhm.
I
very
love
big on
Super
Super
Mario.
Y. I
I
was
love
very
Super
big
Mario.
on Sid the Science Kid. Um,
It's weird. I don't know why it's weird.
yeah, no, no, like it was a very weird show by all means.
Well,
Like
was it Jim Henson did that? No, not him himself, but the company I think did that. So it
I have
was
no idea. I
yeah,
could not I could not tell you.
it was an off-branded Muppets thing, I think.
Prob
But it was
Probably.
CG.
I mean, I was never the type to like examine closely into those types of shows, but yeah, like PB like those were the PBS shows that I was watching.
Okay.
Other I was really big into game shows as well when I was a
Okay.
kid.
So you were more into like I guess as far as PBS, more animated shows, right?
I I can't really like categorize the specific type because that was just what was on PBS like before I went to school. Before
Okay.
like time slot wise before I went to school. Like I was watching
Okay.
like a lot of that. But um uh what was I gonna say? Game shows. Yes.
Hmm.
I watched a lot of game shows when I was growing up. Like I was big on The Price is Right. I was big on Jeopardy. I was big on Wheel of Fortune.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
I was big on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when I was growing up. Um yeah, though so really shows like that. As far as other interests, like I feel like I really I really was interested in music like from like since the beginning. Like for those who don't know, Listen to This is primarily like a music-based podcast that I host and I was really like introduced to very much older artists through my grandma, like whatever she would play in the car, whether it was Michael Jackson or Billy Joel or um, some Prince played on the radio as well. Um, the Carpenters, very much so. I would listen to a lot of that older music as I was growing up, and it was not until like maybe 2009, 2010 that I actually started listening to like modern music, like whatever was on the radio at that time. That was a very good time for like pop music, like radio. Like you got
Oh, yeah.
That was when Bruno Mars was starting off. That was when that was during the Kesha era. That was during when B.O.B. was like still popular. Um that was when Drake was getting his like start in the music industry as well. It was a lot of good things going on, and I was like that was probably my
There's
favorite.
something about the late 2000s. I don't know what it was, but it was something about the late 2000s.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um yeah, that those were really my main interests growing shows and music. Shows and music,
The
really.
shows and music. So no
I
no
wasn't really a big movie person growing up.
movie or like you didn't like play any like you weren't like involved in the activities and stuff like when
I will say I played a lot of the Nintendo Wii when I was growing up. That was my first ever. No, I can't say that was my first ever console because I think no, I got the DS after that. So the Wii
okay.
was my first ever console, and I was playing a lot of those games.
Yeah. I guess I'll go second. Um
Wait, let Spencer go second. He hasn't talked
Actually,
in a
you know
while.
what?
He hasn't
Yeah.
talked in a while, and I'm genuinely
Yeah,
concerned for him. I'm
it's
concerned
just
for his
mainly
well-being.
being Lance, and I'm like Spencer just quiet. Yeah, let's just
No, I was waiting on you. I was waiting on y'all. I was waiting on y'all to finish. Stuff that we
no.
had.
He's literally like, yeah, are y'all finished? Hurry up. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I mean, stuff that we had growing up. It was basically a lot of the things that actually Lance said, but for us, we were very much into a lot of toys. A lot of stuff that doesn't, I don't think it really exists anymore, but they were called Beyblades, like blades or something like.
Yes.
Shout out Beyblades.
Yes. I had those. I had those.
I didn't
Yeah,
have a lot of those, but I freaking loved Beyblades. Yes.
Yeah.
crazy thing.
I think I still have some. Gotta
Yeah,
find them.
only the 2000s kids will understand it, but you know the Beyblades, we had that.
Better
Maybe
rip.
some 90s kids probably too. Uh, we had those. My sister had Pillow Pet. They used to come on the commercial a lot.
I have
Um,
one of those.
that was really good. We used to watch a lot of Cartoon Network during that time. Um, we had shows uh Codename Kids Next Door. That was a really good one. We had I don't know if this is I forgot if it was Cartoon Network or not, but we had this we used to watch like very old shows like Johnny Quest, uh and then another newer show named Johnny or 2000 show named Johnny Test. And then so yeah, I'm kind of very old school with the shows. We watched a lot of that. I think once we got a little bit older, we kind of started getting into Disney Channel shows, simply. I mean, like, shows that don't really come on TV no more, like Jesse, Good Luck Charlie. Um, I mean, it's a lot of those old stuff that's kind of gone away. I mean, yeah, that was basically it. Oh, and the car, like we used to have I can't remember Hot Wheels. I really love the Hot Wheels. That was really fun to play with. They would always come out with a new model car like every single year when we were little. We would go get them from the store and they would just be small.
Yeah. Were you involved in any like activities, or was that just it that you did?
Um, any activities involved in? I guess you could say as far as activities, maybe I was involved in the group. Um, Usually after school, we go to these this like a childcare event called SACC, which means
Mhm.
school age childcare. It's held at school, and that's also when I found out a lot about Kids Bop. It's
Oh yeah, yeah.
like a way of like a smaller way of um actual songs, but it was I guess sung by kids. And
More coded to kids. Yeah.
yeah. As far as events, that's probably we'll say that was probably the only thing that we had. I mean, it's a lot I could really say about the 2000s, but I'm kind of really old school too. Um, I couldn't really, yeah, that's probably the only event I would say is SECC. And then we liked a lot of music. I mean, I grew up with Maxwell and Michael Jackson. I grew up with Maxwell, Michael Jackson, and Music Soul Child. Those were what my parents were listening to.
Shout out Music Soul Child. Love it.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely love it.
yeah. And so we just kind of grew up watching. We watched a lot of Michael Jackson's music videos growing up, and Maxwell's as well. Um, like neo soul, and so we kind of even to this day, like I mean, in both for all you viewers, I mean, Jalen and Lance, no, I'm really old school, so
Yeah.
I
No,
I
no,
can
he is. Yeah.
I can go as
Yeah.
far as the 80s to name a lot of singers that I sing today. And I
I
listen,
actually appreciate that because I don't want to listen to rap all the time. Even
well, I
though
mean,
I,
so
I, I love like modern music, but I always get a good feel of just like maybe because my I'll talk about it more in a minute. But
So yeah.
my
Uh
family basically just played that. But yeah,
so Jalen is lying when he says he's into modern music because he and I can quote this
I don't
from
know.
October
Then he's lying.
2023 when you said this to me. I don't listen to any music past 2018. You said it
No,
verbatim. You
no.
said that verbatim. You said
Yeah,
that
yeah. I said
verbatim.
that. I said that until I started listening to like songs that came out literally last year.
Yeah, like
Like last year, and
Kendrick
probably
Lamar.
songs from
Yeah.
like movies I watched, like
mhm.
that came out,
From movies you watch.
Anytime,
like
anytime.
the soundtrack to the Spider-Verse movies and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, those were good. 100%.
Then I started getting into Kendrick Lamar as soon as Not Like Us came out. Yeah,
Which is a very interesting time to get into Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion, but that's just me. That is just my opinion.
I just never heard of him until that point. So
Oh my gosh. And he's been in my car new many a time, and I've played a lot of Kendrick Lamar, by the way.
yeah, I'm noticing a lot now.
I'm
That's what
But
disappointed.
yeah,
wrong with it
I'm
too.
disappointed.
He's good.
yeah. Anything else, Spencer?
No, I would say, and I do listen to modern music today. Most of the time, if I listen to modern music, it's more likely it's going to be Kendrick Lamar or Drake, maybe. It's more of the more popular, I guess, more popular rappers, but Kendrick Lamar definitely. Um, but yeah, any type of old school music, I could know who it is, and it's not just like soul music or pop or any type of music. I've listened to old school rap too, Tupac and Biggie.
Uh,
Those
cool.
guys are insane. With they rap the truth, so it's
I have
yeah,
a lot of like old school vinyls in my like hanging up there. I have
yeah,
I I don't know if I told you this, Spencer, but I recently got like Songs in the Key of Life on vinyl.
yeah.
That's probably my all-time favorite album. I got a
Mhm.
lot of Michael Jackson
Oh,
vinyls.
Stevie Wonder. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
I got Purple Rain on vinyl as well.
Purple Rain. Yeah.
I even got Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl
Boy.
as
Yeah.
well.
You got any
So
posters, Lance? Or
I do. My background is blurred right now, but like I have a Tyler the Creator Chromacopia poster.
Mm.
Um, Tyler the Creator is one of my favorite artists, and Chromacopia was an extremely good album in my opinion. I used to have a Kid Cudi poster. Um, I used to have a Kobe poster, like for when the Legend Edition of I believe it 2K17, NBA 2K17 came out. I was very big into like NBA 2K games
I
Hmm.
think
for a
Kobe was
while.
probably one of the first basketball players I've ever like. I think like not known, but like the first I was kind of introduced to, and I because he's not the only one I knew, but I started liking him a lot because I my grandfather introduced me to him, so that had me more respect for him.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
um, guess I'll go last. So, um, I was very much a kid. I had uh I didn't watch a lot of like shows that school age kids would look at, not until I got much older. Because the thing with me is I have autism, so a lot of times my mind kind of still stays from when I was probably much younger. So I genuinely watched PBS a lot, but I was more into like I watched anything that was on there on whatever was on my TV, unless until I learned how to change the channel when I didn't want to watch those shows. But uh I liked more like live action shows. Like anything, like I love anything with either costume characters or puppets. I like animation, but only like a certain amount of it. Uh, I watched it was these two that I was always looking forward to. It was Sesame Street and Barney. Both of those were kind of the same because they both were shows that often had songs a lot. They were both educational and they were probably the most popular like shows for that age at the time. Because I know Sesame Street's been around since the late '60s, but Barney was around since '92. So like it was still catering towards people that were in the '90s and then shifting towards the 2000s when because Barney went off like years later after I was older. But yeah, I watched a lot of PBS. Most of the shows I watched on PBS was only because I had a babysitter that she just put on PBS all day. So it was Super Y, and Word Girl. That was a good show, and I kind of watched Curious George a little bit,
Mm.
a little bit. I kind of I shifted from there, and
I forgot to mention that earlier, but
yeah,
that was a big show for me as
Clifford.
well. Clifford as
and
well. Yeah.
Clifford was a favorite of mine. Clifford was a favorite. I liked Clifford a lot. If if you had to single, if you had to choose any other show I liked, and you had to pick, you have to take Barney or Sesame Street out of the equation, it would be Clifford. Clifford, and then so you guys remember Sabumafu?
I don't.
Yes, I remember Sabumafu. Yeah,
Sabumafu,
I
Sabumafu was this lemur, uh, and like the Wildcat brothers did something with him, and they
yeah,
yeah, it was basically a lemur that talked whenever you gave him food, and I forgot what the rest of the show was about. But then I watched Nick Jr. for a while, and that was when Little Bill, Little Bear,
Oh yeah,
Franklin,
I forgot about Little Bill.
Wild Wild Websy.
Hmm.
I was in really into Yo Gabba Gabba at one point. Then there was
Blue's Clues. I think. Is
Blue's
it?
Clues. I loved. I used to love Blue's Clues. There was a show that I'm kind of sad that they're gone, but it was Fresh Beat Band. It was a bunch. It was pretty much a bunch of teenagers that were.
that was a good show.
That
Yeah.
was a good
Yeah,
show. I love.
Mm.
What was that dude? He was my favorite. What was his name? Twist? Was it Twist or Sal? The guy with the yellow. He was cool. He was
I
cool.
forgot all about.
I,
I
I, I
forgot
forgot
the
I forgot
exact
his name, but
details.
that
Yeah.
guy was cool. He was
Yeah,
cool. But yeah, I was mainly into like theater, so I went to a lot of shows when I was younger. Like I went to as many events as I could. It was mainly Sesame Street live shows. It came every year, and so I went to that every year. But it was mostly plays that are based off of children's books because I had a lot of children's books, and a lot of them were Dr. Seuss. But and yeah, there was a lot of things I did. I got involved in karate only when I was younger, only because I was kind of forced into it. I didn't when I was younger, y'all. I wasn't the toughest kid in the world, to be honest. I was a scaredy cat when I was younger. Okay, so my grandfather had to force me into karate. I kind of hated it until I quit. Um, I didn't. Now I do karate now. I got my black belt a couple of months ago, but that was after I moved here. I started when I was in Dallas, but I picked it back up when I moved to Memphis. Um, and that kind of gave me more confidence. That's kind of where I got my confidence and just my overall attitude that I have now from. But other than that, it was as far as music wise, I listened to only whatever my family members had in the car. Um, my grandfather would play either James Brown or some, I guess, yeah, a lot of old soul train like type music. Um, Michael Jackson, we listened to a fair lot of Michael Jackson. My grandmother was more into just songs that you would hear in church. So she was more of a gospel person. My uncle, on the other hand, listened to a lot of rap. So I would hear some things that I would often say that got me in trouble. So because I didn't know they were bad words. There was this one song. I'm not gonna name the name of it. Well, actually, I'll say the name. But the song was "Girls." I forgot how it went, but I remember telling. I forgot who I told, but they were like, "Yeah, you're not going in the car with him again," and I did. But still, it was whatever I liked at the time. Whatever my family members were playing at the time. Besides the shows I watched every day. Um, Now I kind of have my own like what I want to listen to. Uh, I still listen to some of the stuff that I listened to when I was younger, but I kind of have my own like what I like. For those of you that don't know, I love hearing this. Like for some people who have autism, you just love hearing the same thing over and over and over again. That's just with being on the spectrum. On the spectrum, you're comfortable with that, and anything that is different, you just can't get used to it. Like it's gonna take a while for you to get used to something different. So for many of you who for that don't know, you guys know I love the same like this one song. I listen to this over and over and over and over again until I pretty much say, okay, let's do something else. It's Havana, by the way. But yeah, there are a couple of other songs. I'm not going to mention them because this will take forever. But I I like a fair amount of music, like a fair amount of music. Um, one thing I do want to go over, yeah. So I guess fast forwarding to now, well, not now, but like I guess when we were in the college group, what was your like first time in the college group? And if you do remember the exact day or point of time that we first started interacting, not the first day that we met, but if we were like when we were starting to get close. If you can elaborate on that, if you do remember.
I can speak for like for both of y'all because I distinctly remember my first like interactions with you guys. So so for starters, when I met Jaylen, it wasn't my first time going to the college ministry. Um, and for further context, we it was part of Hope Church. Uh, excuse me, located here in Cordova, actually, like about a few minutes away from where Jaylen and I live. And uh, my very first time in that college ministry was during my freshman year of at U of M, and I was just looking for activities to do to help like my requirements for, and I'm sure Spencer has taken this class before at U of M, ACAD. Um, and like I needed to like go to like a certain amount of events in order to just document how campus life was like. And I found this one event. It was a Thursday night Bible study, and I was like, cool. I've been to a Bible study before when I was like little, so it shouldn't be like much different from how I grew up and stuff. Um, so went, yeah, and went, and that was like the college ministry that I was like going to, and met a lot of my like who I would later become good friends with over there. But I didn't really come back because I wasn't that interested afterwards. Then fast forward to really August and September, my girlfriend um, introduces me to our college ministry director, Heather, because she would like she mentioned that she was big on this college ministry. And for further context, I did not know that she was talking about the same college ministry that I had went to like a few months ago, up to that point. So went, met Heather, uh was in this like little like sweepstakes drawing for like this AirPod case for, oh, I forgot what, I forgot if it was Naruto or something, but I entered this like drawing for that AirPod case, and so ended up going to a Sunday night event to where that drawing was going to be held, and it was like the same exact setting that I went to like a few months prior to that. And it was like just so surreal because like I recognized the people, I recognized like the little like living room, the Collins property, and I was just in shock and awe that like I was going to this same place again. And one of the first folks I met over there when I went again was Jaylen. And pretty much like just clicked from there. Like we had like a lot of good discussions and became friends quickly. Had to be like a whole year later when I found like because I was running like carpool duties at the time for like this college ministry because I was like a student leader and I would pick folks up from U of M. One of the folks that I heard I was picking up was this dude named Spencer. And so I was like, cool. I think I messaged Spencer like in the group me like asking like where he was or like I could not remember what I had originally texted you, but yeah, he was yeah, when I picked him up, it was with my girlfriend, and then it was Spencer, and then I think it may have been like one or two other folks that were like there. And Spencer was very quiet, was very, very quiet. But we ended up like mainly bonding over like basketball. Like basketball was really our main thing. We're really big into the NBA, and just kind of clicked from there. And then we like continued on like our discussions and stuff in the coming months. Like Jubilee was a very big bonding point for like all of us. For folks who don't know, Jubilee is this like annual conference for held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for church groups all across the country to go to, and we used to go annually up until our college ministry director left, and yeah, that was just a very big like bonding point for all three of us. So yeah, I know that was like a very long explanation of how I met y'all, but
Oh no, that's cool. That's
but
cool. That's cool.
by all means,
That's cool.
that was really just a whole rundown for real.
How about you, Spencer, if you can?
Um, if I can remember, I think well how I met Lance, yeah, he picked me up from it was the
So pretty
L
much we're just retelling the same story, y'all.
well yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. But I guess how I met Lance was yes, he was picking me up from the LLC because I was saying I can't remember living learning community or whatever the case may what it was called in campus. It's a dormitory room for Memphis.
Oh, were you part of those like TLCs, the Tiger Learning Community?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we were I know I remember you picked me up from there and we did talk about a whole lot about basketball. I think that's how our bond went on, like as you said. Um I think one with Jaylen, I can't remember specifically, but I do remember I think I met Jaylen. I think I met you, Jaylen, actually before I met Lance, because I was my dad actually took me or before Hope Church, my dad took me to Bellevue. I was trying to get involved. I was a freshman, didn't know nobody. Trying to get involved in church group, and he takes me to Bellevue, and then I'm like, oh, it's okay. Didn't really like it. I mean, church. And so I go from Bellevue Church. The next day, he tells me that, oh, there's a Hope Church group, college group that's happening um, on, I think, Thursday nights. And he's like, you want to go to that? I was like, yeah, I'll go to that. But I wasn't really feeling like going there. I guess just because the first time it wasn't working, the Bellevue Church wasn't really working for me. And I was thinking, now, okay, maybe Hope Church ain't gonna work. So if I hadn't had gone Thursday night, I probably would have never met Jaylen. So I think I met Jaylen. That's kind of when I came there and I met Heather for the very first time. Um, and Jaylen was just kind of, just like right there, and he was kind of the very first person I just kind of started talking to. I mean, we just kind of had a chat about like, how long have we been coming here, and just that sort of thing. I mean, I think our vibe was I can't remember most of what it was, but we ended
I
up
feel like it may have been the same as whenever Lance and I talk because I talk to y'all about the same stuff over and over. So I
Yeah.
guess
But
I think that may have been one of my first. I remember. I'll go to it in a little bit. I remember seeing you, but I
mhm.
don't think I interacted with you as much until like later on. But yeah, go ahead and continue. My
Yeah,
bad.
I was thinking that I think it was over like it was over movies or something. I can't remember to be honest, or specific shows. But I think you are right because like you're the kind of first person that I guess I talked to, and then once Lance picked me up that next time and we went, that's when I kind of really started bonding, I guess, with both of you guys um over that. So, it was definitely that was probably how I met both of you guys, I would say. It was more of like a connection. Like, oh, I talked to Jaylen, and after that, Jaylen was kind of the connection between meeting Lance, and it just kind of went from there. And
It just kind of happened by like happenstance or something because
Yeah,
like
did
very
this just
much
this just happened?
very much the circumstances were like oh, I was just running like carpools over from U of M to like our events and stuff, and then
yeah,
very much like that's how I like met like a lot of folks
yeah.
in the college group for the first time, and I do miss them. I miss them a lot.
Uh, before I start, I forgot to mention in our other part. So around the time I started going to high school was around the time, not around the time, but I think between my junior and senior year was around the time I started skating because I just needed some other activity to do, so I just started skateboarding. And around the time when and going back to when I was probably becoming older, I wasn't older yet, but I was around third or fourth grade. I started getting like really big in the Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man. But yeah, that's something I just want to get out of the way. So how I met you guys, I do remember the first day I saw Lance, and it was only through your girlfriend because she came in first. I was sitting down talking to Tyler or Ellery or whoever.
She was there long before me, like very
Yeah,
like probably started going like 3 years
yeah,
before I started going.
yeah. Because I came in to this group around it was September of 20, could be 22, because I wasn't going to University of Memphis until like a year later. So because I was still trying to figure out what am I going to be doing since I'm out of high school. Because I was still trying to find my way into trying to get into college, but I was still like, okay, how can I at least somewhat get an experience of college? And that's when uh now I've been going to this church ever since I moved to Memphis. I was just only involved in the special needs ministry because I had autism, but I just thing was that I liked most of the adults or the volunteers there because I could talk to them. Anybody there, I'm not knocking anybody on that who was special needs, but I just couldn't interact with them. I couldn't hold conversations with them because most of them couldn't talk. A lot of the people that I liked around that ministry were leaving. So that left me to kind of leave too because a lot of my favorite people that were there were leaving. So, and I only come and just do some things for them sometimes, even now, but I'm not fully in that ministry anymore. So I I took a long break when COVID hit, and we just hadn't been going. We've been going to church online, but we were so scared to go in person. So when we started to go back in person, I see Heather on the stage talking about the ministry, and my grandmother was like, "Well, is this something that you want to do? Maybe you could." Maybe you'll see somebody from your high school. Maybe you'll meet some new people. It's not going to college, but you're gonna at least talk to some people your age because your high school friends they're doing their own thing now, and so they're not gonna be. yeah, basically I wasn't going to see a lot of people my age as much as I did when I was in high school. So when I went to the college ministry, I remember going up to the booth like after service to talk to Heather and Ivan, and they looked at me and they're like, "Is this guy?" Because y'all, if y'all don't know me, I'm very short, so anybody can mistaken me for a child. They were kind of like, "Is he? Are you college age?" Like that. That's literally the reaction Heather had, and I was like, "Yes, I'm 19." And most people are kind of surprised by the tone of my voice because I have a very deep voice for someone that's very small. So, but also, when I went that night, I didn't talk to a lot of people because I was still kind of trying to get used to everybody. I mainly hung around Ivan, Heather. I've seen Jonathan at church. This was just my first time meeting him.
All of
So
these are people that were part of our college
that were
ministry, by
part
the
of our
way.
group. Yeah,
Like because I know we're dropping all these names without like further context, but yeah.
yeah, because y'all
Yeah.
never seen him before.
Yeah,
Which I'm
exactly.
hoping to get some of them on so y'all can at least know who we were talking about. But
We are
later
also
on,
dealing with adults with full-time jobs here, so
yeah,
it's
also
probably
so
going to be hard to like get some of them on.
yeah, but
Mm.
yeah, these are the people that we were in the group. So yeah, so I met a couple of people. The thing about me is when uh when I said before that I watched shows like Barney and Sesame Street, those are still big in my life now. Like those just never left, and I'm very sensitive about the things I like because anybody who says anything other like negative towards things that I like, it very much upsets me. Pretty much makes me upset. And
Yeah.
so my grandmother at the time was like, don't go and talk about Barney. No, I discussed me doing karate because that's kind of what I think would get people kind of interested in more talking to me. But then it's harder for me to kind of talk about Barney around people sometimes, unless you're one of my friends and you're just okay. I'm just gonna accept that this is who he is. But uh, so I talked to them about it and they were chill about it. But and my grandma was like, okay, this is the group you probably belong to. Fast forward to when I met Lance. This was after I think we had our first retreat, and this is the first time I ever went anywhere without my family, like trip wise. So he comes in, like his girlfriend comes in. I say hi. He comes in. I was already assuming that he was a part of the group, and I just haven't seen him. So
Tech, I mean, if it was after the retreat, then technically that was true. Well, actually, no, I joined like 1 or 2 weeks before y'all had the retreat in
yeah,
2022.
I pretty much just thought he was just an old member. That so I sit down and he sits down. The first thing I said to him is because I say to him is, so are you into any sports at all? And then Lance has this very he had this very shyish look, kind of like, who is this dude? And he was more like, yeah, I played soccer. So yeah.
Soccer.
Yeah,
I never
he
played
told
soccer
me
when I was growing up.
soccer.
No,
He told me
I
soccer.
didn't I did not tell you soccer because I would not lie to you about me playing soccer when I was growing up. And I
Okay.
never played soccer when I was growing up, so it wasn't soccer.
Okay,
It
he
was
told me
probably
something.
basketball or football.
He told me something. I just remember it being soccer. I don't know why.
You
But
were
okay.
probably thinking about Spencer because he actually plays soccer.
I did play soccer. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay. So my bad. My bad. So
Yes.
he told me he did some sport. So whichever sport that was. So
It was probably basketball.
probably basketball. And so I don't think I started like getting closer to you until the end of that year
Sounds about
because
right, yeah.
Mhm.
there's a friend we have in the group who I often kind of grew close to, only because we had the same interest in activities. But when I started, I think I only started talking to you more was because you started like playing around, joking with me more,
Uh,
and
yeah.
and that just got me a little comfortable with you. And
Yeah.
then when we first went out to eat that first time, that was like, okay, this is probably the person I want to frequently kind of hang out with.
When was that? Wait, do you remember details about that? Because okay, wait, hold up. First of all, yeah, if I was acting like a bit shyish at the beginning, that's just how I am with everyone. Like I'm not
Um,
I kind of am like very shy in like social settings for the first time, but obviously like the more I come around, like the more comfortable I get, stuff
yeah,
like that.
you were very more like very firm and serious when you came in the first time, from what I remember.
I
Um,
didn't know what the vibes were gonna be
yeah,
like, to be
you were
honest.
very you were very like what is this? um,
Yeah.
I was look, I'm a very like social person, so I'll talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere. So that's just me. But
He will
with
talk to someone that's about to kidnap him anytime,
no,
anywhere. Yeah, that's basically what you said. That is basically what you just
not what I meant.
said.
Not what I meant. Not what I meant. Not what
Was
I
it
meant at
like
all.
scam?
So
That's
what
the
I
second
mean,
time I made this joke today, by the way.
what
The
I
first,
mean, what I mean by that is that I'm my mom and I we're the same person. We
that's
just
right,
like
yeah.
talking. We just like talking to people, and we're a people person. So the only time I will not talk to someone is if I get this weird vibe from them. But other than that, yeah, and that's when I went out to eat with you to Chili's, and we just started talking
Dang, you went to
more.
Chili's?
Yep,
Awesome.
yep. With Spencer, I don't remember the exact first time I spoke to you, but I remember briefly speaking to you, and then another time briefly speaking to you about, I guess, and you were like, how are you doing, by the way?" And I'm like, I forgot exactly what we were talking about, but
Yeah.
we I think with you, for one, you were younger, so that
Only
you
2 years, only
Only
two
two,
years
only
younger.
2 years.
Only 2 years younger.
both of
If
these
this was
guys are
only
young.
2 years ago,
Both of
by
these
the way.
guys are younger than me, by the way, so that drew me towards them more. Um, and because a lot of my friends are younger than me. I have, of course, TJ and others are older, but most of the ones I had before everyone else were younger than me. When I was talking with Spencer, I think it's more because of Lance being around, and then around more, because I can't say exactly what the vibes were at first with Spencer, but I guess because I think of both of you the same way, it's kind of pretty much why I kind of consider Spencer as probably one of the top of my friend list, like right next to Spencer.
Spencer, he said probably, by the way. He's still thinking about it still.
Probably.
I'm not thinking about it.
Probably. He's no, he's still thinking about
He
it. He said
was thinking.
probably.
Not like
He was
He
thinking.
was
He was thinking.
you're like right
He
here.
was thinking.
You're like right here
Why are you
with
putting your friendships on a
Lance.
tier list, my man? Like
I
you're
don't know.
slightly below my best friend, but
I
And
meant tons.
you might be right there, but
you,
dude,
you're not quite there, Spencer.
not quite. Yeah.
I met tons of people on the but yeah. So I think now we can just drive forward. So like now we kind of got how we met each other. What are probably one of the what do you remember most, or what you liked most about kind of, I guess, the adventures, quote unquote, say that we kind of had together or something?
Okay, repeat that
Mm.
question one more time. Repeat that question one more time because I'm trying to process it right now.
Like some of like the our favorite memories together, or like
There you go.
what we did, or
Okay.
Like anything from from when we were first communicating up to probably now.
Mm.
Like anything you think of.
I'll point to a couple instances with really both of y'all as a whole, to be honest. Um, one being Jubilee. I mean, Jubilee was very much like a an important like point between us. Really just an important bonding moment for us in the in those few days that we spent. Yeah, because we had roomed together. Yeah, we had roomed together along with along with our
Along with another person that we
along
know.
with
Yeah.
along with our other friend in the ministry. His name was Brandon. Yeah, no, that was very like very good, very good bonding time between us. Some discussions that we had, some time that we had spent together. I think both Spencer and I I remember like I think it was the very first night where technically second night, but the very first night that they were having like sessions and stuff, and Jaylen was like doing the salsa dancing session that they had. No, like as all of that was like as that event was going on, I kind of just like wanted to stay in the room, because for one reason, and it was Friday Night SmackDown was going on. I'm a big wrestling fan, and and it was like I think Spencer was in the room with me as well, and it was this episode of SmackDown where The Rock was like cutting a promo, and it was like his first promo as like a bad guy in like quite a while. And it no, that was just like a core memory because that was just one of my favorites. um and that trip as a whole was like really fantastic. um I think also like speaking of wrestling, I think like the other point I was gonna mention like was the night we had like we were all watching WrestleMania 40 together
Mhm.
last year. Um
Was it at your house or when we were at the
we were at the
Collins?
Collins property. We were at the Collins
Okay,
property.
cool.
Just having the big watch party for WrestleMania 40, which was also Heather's last night in the college
Yes,
ministry. So it was
yes,
bittersweet as well. But
yes.
that was another very much bonding time, not just with us three, but also like with the ministry as a whole, because like folks that I thought would have never been invested in like wrestling were all sitting in front of that TV, like watching Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title. Like that was just like a landmark moment for me for some reason. Like I really
Yeah,
loved that.
yeah. The thing is that if there's a if everybody's in the same place, I would want to be with them. I guess if it was a football game, I wouldn't be that interested. But because it
And
was
you say this
more,
like as we had like a couple of Super Bowl watch parties in the ministry as well.
yeah, I tend to kind of I remember trying to distract you guys a lot. Look, I don't watch football at all, but because it was wrestling, it was a match, but it was more it wasn't the type of fighting I liked, but it was still a match, so that interested me.
No, that was a very good memory I had. Yeah. What about y'all?
I was actually gonna say WrestleMania 20 was really good because I think I really like that memory of how we all were like we were watching that and then the Undertaker came out and we didn't know he was gonna come out.
Ah, bro, that
Everybody
was
everybody
crazy.
everybody just started going crazy and just like screaming and Heather came out of the kitchen and was like the Undertaker. It, unbelievable. I mean, that was probably a really good moment of the bonding because we were kind of all very, very excited that that happened.
Yeah.
Uh, him and John Cena came out too, and that was exciting.
Bro, John Cena,
He
like
was
him and The Rock had that standoff for like the first time in a decade, bro. That was crazy,
John Ce-
crazy.
John Cena was one of my well, I actually used to watch wrestling too when I was little. And he was one of my favorites, if not the favorites. Um,
Bro, he's retiring in a few months, man.
yeah.
At the end
Oh,
of this
really?
year. Yeah, yeah. This is his last year competing as a pro wrestler, and he's retiring after his last match in December.
that moment was good. Obviously, I think Jubilee was really good. There was one time where it was like, Jaylen was in the room, and then we had our other friends, Imani, Brandon, TJ was in there, Zoe was in there, James was in there, and like all of us were kind of in there. Shout out to all of them, but um, yeah, and we were just kind of in there, just like having fun and just talking. While I think like the girls in the other college ministry were like over there somewhere else having fun with each other.
I think they were like the room behind us or like the room like
Yeah,
somewhere nearby. Bro, Brandon breaking the
Y'all
chair.
remember when we had the
yeah.
Super Bowl before we went to Jubilee and they didn't even come out until Usher came on.
I would like to not remember that Super Bowl because,
Oh, okay.
because the 49ers lost in that Super Bowl. Yeah.
I didn't even know who played, so I was like,
It was the Chiefs and
uh,
49 it was the Chiefs and 49ers.
my bad then.
I was very salty that night, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
digress. Yeah, yeah, go on, Spencer.
But kind of, I mean, just like you, Jalen, I'm not really a football fan, but like I said, when Super Bowl comes around and all that, I know certain players on certain teams that are very popular that I could pick out. But Super Bowls are fun too, and but back to the story of our Jubilee, we were kind of all in there. We were just like laughing, and Brandon, we all love Brandon. He broke that chair, I know,
Bro,
so
broke that chair, man.
we just
No,
all
because okay, for further context, because I feel like we can share this. We
Let's
were
do
like
it.
we can share like certain parts of this.
Yeah.
Like the three of us were having like a very like serious discussion. By all means. Uh, with like a few others like that were also in the room, like the folks that you mentioned earlier. All of a sudden we hear a crunch. We just hear a crunch. And then we look and it's like, dang, Brandon broke the dang chair in our
And then
room.
James started making jokes.
Bruh. No, that was a very funny moment. Like it just broke the ice like in that very like very serious discussion that ended up like being
I went I, I went from a frown or a frown to a laugh in a minute.
Yeah, no, yeah, that it was like a very like intense. It was very intense. And then all of a sudden we see Brandon break the chair and then we
And
just
then
burst out laughing all
in,
together.
in my head I was like, okay, either we need to tell somebody or don't tell anybody anything or because I didn't know
I
how.
don't think we told anybody, to be honest. Like I don't think we
No,
told anybody.
they probably figured it out and fixed it. I don't know.
No, but that's actually what I was going to mention. Actually, was like how we just kind of all started laughing. It was just very funny. Even Brandon was laughing too, and it was crazy because everybody was just dying laughing, and the girls in the college ministry, our friends in college ministry, they were like they heard it like a couple of doors down, and then you know one of my other friends, she heard it too, or who I was dating at the time. Um, she heard it too, like calling on my phone on the phone, was like, "What are y'all doing in there?" And all that. We was like, "We ain't doing nothing. We just, laughing hard because something happened." But we didn't. We actually ended up keeping that secret between each other. We never told anybody else, and it just kind of stayed there. But I would say that's probably one of the most funniest memories because we were all in there with each other. So yeah.
Mine's probably would be Jubilee too. I guess because it this was the first time that not only I've been like it wasn't the first time that I've been like away without having my family go because I went to two other trips with the group, but this is my first time going farther than where I've been. This is the first. I think if I'm right, this may have been the first time I've been like out of the South. Honestly, because everywhere I went was just in the South. Um, and this is the first time I went on like a long trip with you guys. So this was very it wasn't like that's not the reason why it was the best. I
I'm
guess
sorry.
because
I'm laughing because I hear the alarm go off in the background for Jalen.
she came
Yeah.
yeah. I'm looking at her the entire time, like, what do you think? But
I'm sorry. It just distracted me. Like Jalen's telling this
yeah,
very
but
like very good story, like and
yeah,
poignant story, and all of a sudden I hear door open.
yeah, I was like, I was like, all right. So I go now. I get very comfortable during trips. I like trips. I can take a trip every day if I had a chance. But um, not only I ate a lot at that time, I spent more money than I should have. But uh, it wasn't only I'm not gonna say it was a salsa dance because I'm
Did
not gonna
anyone hear
say
that beep? Did anyone hear that random beep in the background? Like, or was
I heard it. I
like
heard it.
what was that
I heard
random
it.
beep? I wonder.
Oh, it was I was plugging something in charging.
Oh, okay,
Oh, okay. Now you're good, bro.
okay. All right. So it wasn't just a salsa. Well, I guess I'll say a little bit of it. This is probably the first time I like really interacted with people who were not who I was traveling with. This is the first time I like interacted with people from other states. It was maybe one or two dudes, and the rest of them were just girls. But other than that, I pretty much you guys. Yeah, it was that night. Well, actually, I don't know if it was that night because I was very upset that night. But besides that, it was I guess it was just the fact that you guys were around, and then it was also the worship moments that we had during that time because I don't know where you were. Oh yeah, I know where you were, Spencer. Like you didn't even come. You didn't want to come out most of the time, and then because it was just
Late at
me.
night. You my after the service of Jubilee?
No, 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 no. I think he's talking about during the services, like the worship parts of it.
Because I didn't see much of you as far as I remember.
Jalen and I were just like like near the
We were near the
stage.
front just
Yeah.
jumping up and down.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I think I was doing homework. I was doing homework.
Man,
Spencer, I remember, yeah, you did have a lot of homework that, yeah, you had
Oh,
like a few
wow.
projects. But yeah, no, that worship was really cool to just like be able to be in that vicinity with like so many others from across the country.
uh, and then of course, times we've worked out. Uh, Pretty much just the random times we just hang out are always good, especially even while on camp while me and Lance both were on campus because we pretty much left around the same time. But if we can play a little trivia game on how this is gonna work, who's most likely to do which, and then we'll just say whose name.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys think of something first because I can't think of
Let,
one in my
let's
head.
let's let's take turns thinking of stuff. Who is most likely to want to start up a fight because they heard something like that was just wrong to them and they confronted someone about it? I feel like it's Jalen because Jalen knows. First of all, Jalen knows how to fight, but second of all, yeah, it's Jalen.
Kind of okay. So if we were in some type of like bad situation right now, who would leave the group, leave to just go do their own thing and not even care about what's going on?
Mm,
Oh,
that's a tough one. I don't know. Leave to go do the wrong thing.
leave to go do like a complete. So like, what bad situation are you talking about
If
here? What kind of
let,
bad
let, let
situation?
let's say that we were going somewhere and maybe a car broke down, or let or or let's say that we were lost, or um I'm not going to speak of the apocalypse, but like if we were in like a situation where we're freaking out and we just need help, there's got
Mhm.
to be one of us in the group who just doesn't care about what's going on.
See, I feel like I feel like it wouldn't be me because I feel like I would be proactive throughout the entire thing, like just trying to like gather resources and stuff. Uh,
I don't know about.
I'll be honest. It's Jaylen. I
Yeah,
would say Jaylen.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm. Yeah. If if it's not in my concern, then I don't care.
Well, that's the thing though, because
Yeah,
if it's in a bad situation, I would assume that it's also your
but
concern,
but
and you would
but
still
but if
leave
I'm
anyway.
if I'm involved, if I'm involved in it, then yeah, I'm gonna freak out. Probably not as much because it's out of my control, but still.
Well,
Um.
yeah, for sure.
All right.
Spencer, it's
Let
your
me
turn.
let me think of a better one.
Spencer, it's your turn.
Um. Well, after
Oh,
Spencer.
yeah, you can go for me. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good one, but I guess I would just start simple. Who is more likely to break the laws on the road when driving?
Me because I've already done it. I've gotten it. I've gotten a warning ticket before. So, I
I
Spencer, I can't speak for you. I don't think you. I have you gotten any tickets?
Nah.
Okay, so
I can't
I am the only one
I can't
here
drive
who
anyway,
has
so I
been
don't.
pulled over. So,
Uh,
yeah, and Jaylen doesn't drive. So, yeah, I would by
not yet
default it
anyway.
would have to be me, right?
Yeah, until I start
Oh,
driving and we'll see what happens. Yeah, no, I don't know why, but I'm picturing me driving to be like what SpongeBob, what
Oh yeah,
SpongeBob. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm picturing.
Funny thing, like I saw like a video recently of like SpongeBob just driving like a whole truck normally in like an episode, and I'm like, he can drive anything but a boat. He can drive anything but a boat, and that's crazy.
But a regular
But
car. Yeah,
yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
but yeah.
Well, let's see. Who is most likely to go viral because of something like silly that they did that they posted?
Me, honestly, me.
You would say you? You would say
Me,
you?
honestly, me. Yeah.
I
something.
genuinely have to think about that one.
I do too. I don't know.
Jalen,
Because
what's your reasoning for picking yourself?
I post a lot of silly stuff anyway.
But we're talking about like very, very, very silly stuff, like an accident or
No,
like
I'm not gonna post that. No.
or it doesn't even have to be something that you posted, but someone had posted you and it was like going viral.
So who would? I don't know. I'm just gonna say that's me. At this
Okay.
point. Oh,
I would say me because I am more like whether I realize it or not, I am more prone to like accidentally getting into situations that I did not mean to. So I feel like I would
okay,
like
that's also me
I'm
too.
most likely to get I feel like I'm most likely to just get caught and go viral as a result. I don't know.
Oh, I okay. So I guess this leads me to my kind of wrap up discussion. So yeah. So what do you guys kind of do, like not do now, but like what current things you're working on or what you have been doing, like
Sure, sure.
pretty much the current your current lives right now.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so current things I'm working on now. I mean, obviously I'm just now getting into my international and global studies major. So I have to currently take two classes, which I forgot what they were called, to find out which road I want to go towards. I'm currently studying a language in French. I'm trying to be fluent in French and possibly two other languages, but for right now, I'm starting off with French. Um, the plan is to do that. I want to go. We've been talking about it. I've been talking about it with my parents. The plan was to go possibly to either France or a French-speaking country, which they have a lot of those in Africa, uh, and take classes still at the University of Memphis, but be there in France as a study abroad for the spring semester. We're talking about that, but I don't know if that's going to be. It might not be. I want to do it. And that's supposed to be for next year. So that's what I'm
Take me
currently.
with you, by the way, good friends. Please. I'm
um,
joking.
we're talking about doing that for the spring semester, just like going. Like I might go out of the country for probably that semester or half a semester for like a study abroad opportunity, and continue to take classes in University of Memphis. but be in France and just stay there in dormitory or whatever the case may be. And just be there. Um, so that's what I'm currently working on is for right now it's those things. Um, really trying to broaden my education. I'm really trying to do that. Um, but most of the time, like I said, it's out of the country. I'm trying to get a lot of out of the country experience and studying out of the country experience. Um, because, I mean, there's like a whole world out there and it's just like, America is not it's I mean, it's a place that is
It exists.
yeah,
It is a country that exists.
and so I'm just currently taking those steps first. Just first of all, working on classes that would lead me towards those, and then working on getting an opportunity to study abroad for a semester or half of it, and if not that, probably next summer, out of the country and still get credit for it and just be there and have the experience, trying some good food,
Mhm.
some real food from not America. 'Cause America's food's trash. But anyway, no. But anyway,
Agreed.
that's really what I would say is those
Cool.
things.
All right,
Praise.
Lance.
Uh, I'm dividing this into two sections. One being work, and then two being everything I have going on outside of work because like it's a lot. But I'll start off with work. My role in particular is mainly dealing with IT, being sort of like a customer service, like help desk type person when it comes to like IT issues, but also working on various projects as well, such as like this AI project that I'm working on, this helping out with a bunch of implementations that we're going to be doing, stuff like that. So that's how I can describe work. I have like a lot of things going on outside of work as well, like to where as I had announced not too long ago on my social media that I was starting up this production company called Reimagined, with this show as well as my show officially like being two shows that were going to be the first shows that were launched under Reimagined. So working on that, working on um, still actively working on this documentary about the city of Memphis and just highlighting the city of Memphis for its
Check it out when it
positives.
comes out, by the way, y'all.
Wait, what were you saying?
I was saying check it out when it comes out.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. It's a work in progress at the moment. I'm just trying to work out a few things before officially like hard launching the production process on it. Also working on really just trying to relaunch Listen to This as well, with a few things that I'm planning for episode wise for mainly the YouTube channel as well, which we'll link in the description below. We'll link all of our social media info as well. And I'm doing a lot of things with Hope Church as well. Currently part of the leadership team over at this young adults ministry that we're all in, and doing some photography work for the Hope social media as well, and just just living life. Just living life. What can I say? Football is starting up soon. Basketball is starting up soon. It's a great time for me to be a sports fan, and
Shout
that's
out
really all I'll say.
Sacramento Kings. Shout
Oh
out
my
Sacramento
gosh,
Kings and the
I
Memphis Grizzlies.
I could like do a whole I could do a whole hour long episode about my feelings on the Sacramento Kings, but I don't want to do that. But yes, yeah, very interesting times for sure.
So I guess what I'm doing now is so I'm working at Chuck E. Cheese. I am yes, if you want to know, yes, I am Chuck. Yes, for anybody that wants to see, yeah, that's that's me. And then so I mostly play Chucky. My goal or in as far as the work business the career as far as a career is, I want to be an entertainer and performer. And because I've spoken like in the beginning of this podcast, this episode, that what I was a big musical theater guy, so I like performing. So I'm um I'm currently trying to I guess broaden that. I've done a couple other shows in the past, but I'm mainly just doing Chuck E. Cheese now. So I'm doing the birthday parties and also the live shows at Chuck E. Cheese, and then also working in the game room, doing other duties besides performing most of the duties that I hate. But we're not going into that. And also, I'm I guess I'm partially teaching karate, but I'm also back to training. I do tournaments probably a couple of months throughout each year. And of course I work out. With these two guys, and it's also a good bonding experience as well. And also, I graduated high school, but I didn't have credits to go to college. I didn't have a diploma, so I'm trying to everything that I probably should have learned years ago. I'm trying to learn that now, and so I'm doing that before I can go back to college and actually do actual college work. And so I'm doing that, and also still involved with the church, and that's also a thing I do with Lance and Spencer as well. And yeah, I'm just being me and just trying to live every day one day at a time, even though I kind of want to rush things. But yeah. Yeah, this was pretty fun. So what do you guys think? How did it go for you guys?
What
Oh,
the podcast?
I mean, I mean, like, what do you? I mean, like, you guys are enjoying yourselves, or
hmm,
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah,
I think this was a very good like first episode for us.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I pretty much like sitting down chatting with you guys, and I've actually learned a couple of things that I didn't even know about you guys. So that was
For sure.
very special as well.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna wrap it up right here, guys. I wish we could talk further, but there's gonna be many other times we'll do this. So
We've
don't
also
worry.
been recording for like almost 2 hours at this rate, so this is gonna
Yeah.
be a very
So
long episode. Bit
yeah,
like
yeah,
bear with us if you stuck around for the whole thing.
yeah. I don't blame you if you had something to do. That the dog was sick or whatever. But
You know, you were like folding the dishes and like what?
You just
or fell asleep. But hey, if you stuck around this long, then I appreciate your
We
patience.
appreciate you. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. So anything you guys want to add before we hop off here?
No, I don't have anything though.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to say, not every episode is going to be over Zoom like this. We're gonna figure out,
Yeah.
we're figuring out some logistics behind recording in person soon, like such as schedule, some settings that we can record in, and just really fun stuff. Like I'm really excited to see where this podcast goes, and I'm really excited to have two of my brothers with me here to go through this. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this was pretty fun. I appreciate you all for spending your time with us. If you have any questions, comment them down below, or just I guess not DM us, but just comment down
Sure,
below. Yeah,
you can message us about any concerns that you have about this
yeah,
two two
yeah,
hour
you
long
can.
podcast episode.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, check Lance said earlier. Check out our individual pages, and
Absolutely.
we'll put on another great episode, another great show for you guys soon, and
Awesome.
we'll see you. I guess whenever the next episode is.
We'll see
All
y'all
right.
next time.
Yeah.